Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video, we have the highly requested Dagger. Now, this ship is kind of unusual in compared to some of my other reviews because this is one of the few ships where there is a direct way to get it. It's not RNG. So at the end of the video, this video will probably be a little bit longer or shorter depending on the rest of the stuff, but at the end of the video I'll show you exactly how to get it, and I will go through the process of how I got it, just so there's no confusion. Anyway, this ship is called the Dagger. It doesn't have a tier system, to my knowledge, but when I checked up some stats on it, it seemed like there was higher tier versions, like tier 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm level 100 in the game. I'm over level 100, actually, so the fact that it didn't have a higher tier for me, because usually the higher level you are, the higher tier ships you see, it makes me think that the higher tier versions don't exist, and this is just kind of like it one size fits all. Anyway, the ship is owned by or operated by the Ecliptic mercenary faction. It doesn't really have their like signature color scheme. The Ecliptic mercs have more of a kind of a bluey tint to their vessels. It's a very cool looking vessel. It's like, it looks very much like it's a Deimos vessel, so it's been like heavily, well, it's not been heavily modified. They've put some weaponry on it and made it combat effective, which I suppose all Deimos ships are. Anyway, let's get to the stats. So, starting off, we've got fuel of 50, which, if you've seen my other reviews, you'll know what I'm going to say. That is not very good. Like, I had to do the technique to get out of the system where you find this. I had to do the technique where you get out of your ship and you basically walk to the back of the ship and then you just click fast travel to get the ship out of there. So I would recommend upgrading that fuel immediately, like immediately. It's got a hull of 400, which it's not great, to be honest with you. It's not extremely bad, but like I've seen some A classes with it, but higher. Cargo capacity of only 200, which again, not a lot, but then this is a combat vessel, so you're not really going to be hauling much. It's got an A-class reactor, 16 power, which in the current configuration, that's not too bad, but I would recommend upgrading the reactor at some point. It's got a crew capacity of 2, jump range of 20 light years, which isn't too bad, but it's not amazing. And then it's got a shield of 340, which, again, it's kind of weird because, like, you kind of get this ship by doing a little. It's not an unmarked quest, but it's no Razor Crest. It's no Mantis, Razor Leaf. There we go. I'm confusing myself, but it is an avenue to get a ship, and it's a ship that stat-wise is not really anything special. It's got 3 sets of weapons: laser, ballistic, and missiles. It's got the laser mounted on the dorsal above the bridge. There are 2 lasers actually, dorsal and ventral. It's got the missile and the cannon mounted on the right. But yeah, let's go take a look at it. So I'm going to purchase this, as always, because I sell to the vendor before I do my review, just so I can see the stats. But yeah, you can't obviously buy it. I will show you at the end of the video, after the teardown, how to get it. This is the ship itself. Gonna really quickly do my usual glamour shot. Like, it's quite a cool ship. Alright, so yeah, anyway, let's got the glamour shots out of the way. Let's go inside. Just a warning, a notification might pop up at some point. I usually, when I like to take screenshots on the Xbox and then like download them that way to kind of, you know, for the thumbnail and stuff. But sometimes the Xbox takes time, so it'll probably pop up saying your screenshot has been saved. Anyway, we got the standard Deimos entryway. This is all Deimos. They do a decent job at their interior. Very combat-y. So we're gonna board it. There's not much to the interior of the ship itself. Quite small. So we have this
Hello there.
This is this is a living quarters from Deimos. 2x1 living quarters. We've got the docking port above and the entryway below, which some people like. I quite like that. Is this door closed? Oh, there we go. Nice. So people can see people can see your like outline while you're pooping. Got some beds here. We've got no. You good, Sam? Doing some squats? So there's no like I kind of wish the living quarters had like this actually worked and you could make some food, but it is what it is. And then we have this area here, the cockpit, Demo's cockpit.
Oh, weird. I was just thinking.
Yeah, you just want to step over the bodies.
Hey.
Ooh, he's got whiskey. Nice. Anyway, it's got your standard Demo's cockpit. Demos only have, I think they have only like 2 types of cockpits. We're going to take her over to space. We're going to try it out, see how she performs, and then we're going to a teardown. And then after the teardown, I will show you exactly how to get this vessel.
Stay up late reading under the covers? Did you?
So it's a cool looking ship. It's quite small.
Don't pretend to be mad at
which
me.
Is
I know you aren't really. I learned that back on Earth, people used to use the stars to navigate.
You're clear.
But I guess it only worked because they just lived on one planet. And that sounds boring.
Remind me one of these days to tell you the tale of a certain Solomon Coe and where his stargazing landed.
Yeah.
Apogee kick complete.
Having Cora and Sam, it makes her nice, makes the ship seem more lively and like, you know, kind of homely, but it can be kind of annoying when you're trying to do reviews. Anyway, so if we look at the power pips, we've got very little power because of the current reactor, and I have a perk that increases my power by 5, so for the sake of this video, we're not going to be using the 5. We have enough for the engines and the shields as is. Just gonna make sure that Sam's not here. Crew. Okay, we're good. Perfect. So, weapon test, we've got those double lasers. Got ballistic missile to the right, and then we've got the ballistic to the right and the missile to the right. It's not a bad setup. Like this would be I want to say this would be like a decent starter ship to go get, but it's in an area which I'll show you at the end of the video where like you need to bring a small army with you. Anyway, I'll get to that later. So, speed test, it has a base speed of 140, which is pretty good. It's got a boost speed of 580, which isn't bad. Do a quick agility test. I'm expecting good things from the agility. Okay. Okay, pitch is it's not extremely fast. I'd say it's like a 7. The yaw is also about a 7. And then the roll is, well, it's not too bad. All in all, it's a pretty nippy ship. Anyway, we're going to go down to the planet real quick and do a teardown. Alright, so here we are in the teardown. So, split it up in 3 sections, as always. So, on the top section, which kind of is connected to the middle, but, you know, is the DS 10.1 Phobos cockpit. Cargo of 2 and crew space of 2. I believe this is the cheapest of the DS cockpits. All the cockpits are kind of the same, they just have slightly more hull, and I think that's maybe cargo. And then behind it here we have the 110 DP Dagger from Deimos top. And then for the weaponry, we have a pair of these Dragon 221P megawatt pulse lasers from Horizon Defense. This is an A-class, 120 range, 6.65 fire rate, and it does 9 shield damage and 3 power. There's 2 of them, one mounted underneath and one mounted on top. And then mounted here on this Horizon weapon mount, we have a Atlatl 270A missile launcher from Lightsight, A-class, 4,800 range, fire rate of 1, 49.34 damage to the shields and the hull, and 3 power. And then underneath that we have a Mauler 104L cannon, Horizon Defense. A-class, 960 range, 3.49 fire rate, 13 hull damage, and 4 power. Then we have the shield generator here. We have a Deflector SG-10 shield generator from Sexton Shield System. This is an A-class, 3 power, 340 shields. Now I can tell you already, this shield is the lowest class you can get in the Deflector series, if we go to shields. So here we have, this is the one we have here currently, it's 2000. Now we can go all the way up to a Deflector SG-60, which almost triples our, just under triples our capacity from 340 to 860. Now, the main difference is the price point. This is 2.2k, this is almost 16k, so you're basically paying 8 times more, and it also requires Starship Design 4. Now, there is other alternatives if you don't have Starship 4. We could obviously use, let me see here. So I'm just looking. See if any kind of other alternatives. You could go the route of these ones. You can get a 421 without the perk, but realistically, if you're trying to kit it out, you're going to probably need some points in it. But anyway. And then behind that, we have the Helios 100 Grav Drive from Deep Core A-Class, 9 power requirement, 16 jump thrust, which in the current configuration gives us 20 light years of jump range, which, if we look here, if we kind of upgrade it, because again, this is the lowest equivalent of any on the ship. So if we go here and we have... So this one here, this is the Helios 1. We can upgrade to the Helios 400, which costs a little bit more, two times more expensive, and requires Starship 1. But it gives us a jump range of 30, so you basically can max out your jump range in this current configuration. As for aesthetics on the ship, the only aesthetic on the top we have is the Deimos Cowling 4, and this little Horizon weapon mount. If we go to the middle of the ship, we have the Deimos all-in-one 2x1 berth, which you've heard me say this before. If you want to use this ship and kind of make it more efficient, I would recommend swapping the all-in-one berth out for a Deimos 2x1 control station. That would increase the crew station up to 4 from 2, which would give you a little bit more kind of leeway. You can get some more perks, like you can get a character that can increase your shielding on your ship, or maybe Sam, who gives you faster engines. Just so it's something to think about. And then behind that we have the Tokamak XO50 reactor from Zhang, A-Class, 16 power. Now again, this is the lowest class reactor. I don't even think they sell this class of reactor here. No, they don't. So I know that you can get this reactor, and you can obviously get a more upgraded version. You could probably get maybe 20 plus. But we have some other alternatives here. We have these 330 reactors where this 380 gives us 26 power, but I always go for the Spheromatic. This reactor here, it's very pricey, and it's very expensive. It's like 30k. It requires you to have a Starship Design 4, but this is a must-have on any A-Class ships. This is one of the best, if not the best reactor. Look at that, 33 power, that's phenomenal. As for the engines, we have a pair of these Ares DT10 engines from Panoptes, A-Class, 2 max power, 5660 engine thrust, and 1800 maneuvering thrust. Now, once again, if we go to engines, I believe these are the weakest of the engines. We could upgrade them all the way up to 60, which... the mass actually gets lighter, which is interesting. It makes sense. So we could upgrade these. It requires you to have Starship Design 3, but you could basically almost triple the engine thrust and almost add almost another 1800 maneuvering thrust. It also makes the engines a lot lighter, so you're saving a bit of space. So it's just something to look to if you want to upgrade. And then we have these 4 Deimos 220 CB landing gear, port and starboard, 4 of them, giving you... See, these Deimos landing gear, they look really cool. I really love those big vertical engines, but they're very inefficient, given how they look. They only provide 1 thrust, landing thrust, where if I go and we look at some of the gears here, these ones here are the same, and these, you know what I mean? These are, beefier. Anyway, just a slight off topic. And then on the bottom here, we have the Deimos 120 LD landing bay. It's, yeah. And then behind that, we have the M10 Ulysses HE3 tank. Now, I would immediately rip this bad boy off. Actually, let me bring it back just so I can look at it. So it gives you 50 grav fuel, but it's 12 mass, which is... Don't worry too much about the mass. It doesn't matter how heavy you are if you can't go anywhere. So I would recommend probably putting one of these bad boys on, 210. It only increases your mass by a little over 2/3, so like from 12 to 29, so that's almost like triple. But you get 4 times the jump capacity, and it also fits in nice here. If it would fit in nice here if I move that. So yeah, that's just something to kind of look to. So we're going to really quickly now show you how you get this vessel. So yeah. Alright, so here we are on the planet Jaffa 4. In the Jaffa system, there's Jaffa 4. Jaffa is... There is Jaffa there. And there's Cheyenne. It's quite close to Parima. So if you've been to Parima... And then in Jaffa, you're going to come to the planet here, like I said, Jaffa 4. And then on Jaffa 4, there is a settlement called Vulture's Roost. So we're going to go land on it and say hello to the people there. Keep in mind, this is an ecliptic base. So even though you could technically beeline it to here early on in the game, probably not worth it.
Landing here. Inside, clear.
So you land on this little pad. I'm going to obviously skip some parts in a minute because there's going to be a lot of fighting. But as you can see, it's a cool little area.
Aren't gonna be a problem here.
So you land here, and we're basically going to make our way through. The idea is we're basically trying to get over to the other side. So I'm going to pause here and go deal with some enemies, and then we'll be back. Alright, so as you can see, there's a landing pad here. So what you want to do is you want to basically make your way up to this like little bar. There's the landing pad there we're trying to make our way to. So you just come through here. Well, you don't have to come through here, but I like to come through here just to clear it out. And then if we head over this way, there's some guys. Halo jumping up. We just basically got to clear out as many as we can. And then we come through this way, and as soon as we come out this door, we hear it. It's about to enter orbit. Here it comes. And it's going to basically land down here. Now, I'm assuming you can clear out everything down here. But with how finicky some ships have been in the past, like, you know, certain ships land on the planet and then instantly take off, I find the best thing to do is wait for them to open the door and then just ambush them. It's a good thing those weapons can't be used on planets. And we'll just set a little ambush. Sam was with me, but he's over there somewhere shooting at people. Here you go. Door opens. There's going to be guys here, so be careful. Got my trusty overlight pistol. Like I said, this is very like, this is kind of the Eclipse, one of the Eclipse like hangout spots. There's a lot of them. So once you've cleared out the cargo bay, you just hop in. And then from there, you just, you know, the usual stuff. You got to clear out the crew, but the ship's quite small, so there's only one right here. Knock, knock. I will take the ship. Yeah, that was it. That's how to grab the ship and run down everything. So let me know what you guys think of this. Have any of you guys gotten this ship? It's cool because it is a unique ship. So like if you're a collector or you just like the look at it, it's cool that it's there. But from like a gameplay point of view, it's kind of underwhelming for a ship that you have to like fight past like a load of ecliptic mercs, especially high level mercs. But anyway, as always, don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content. And check out some of my other reviews. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.